Hello friends, so welcome to this part 4 of this series. So in the first part we deployed the web application on single EC2 instance. In the second we added the load balancer to handle to distribute traffic on our web server. In the third we migrated our MySQL database into the RDS database. So here we completed our 3-tier architecture. Now in this part for we just want to make sure that our application is secure. So for this video I'm going to use the web application. I'm going to attach the web application firewall to the load balancer. So whenever any end user requests our web application, that traffic will be inspected through the web application firewall, and if that user uh, then web application firewall have like a two condition: allow or block. If the traffic is allowed, then it will transport to the load balancer, otherwise it gets blocked here only. So let me just show you. This is our application. It's working fine on with the RDS EC2 and load balancer. Now our task is to go and attach the web application firewall to our web, load balancer. So let me just explain you what are the benefits of adding the load balancer. So whenever your application in production and it is public facing application, then web application firewall, it is a mandatory thing, because to protect our application from the DDoS attack, then SQL injection, any kind of scripting attack. Then there are AWS WAF provides lots of many rules where we can protect a web application firewall have dedicated rules for the PHP language, then Linux machine. So these are the benefits of having the web application firewall. So go to the and so this is the web application firewall console. In the navigation panel you will see the web ACLs option. Click on the create web ACL. So here our Mumbai region is selected automatically. Then name it as a Laravel firewall. For protecting from DDoS attack. Click on the next option. Then here we have an add rules option. So we are not going to add the rules now, we'll add later. Then by default action, then click say to the allow. Click on the next. Rules we have not added it, so priority will be empty. Then click on next. Click on enable sample request. Click on next, and then click on create web ACL. Now our web application firewall is created. Now click on that and attach your load balancer with this web application firewall. So here we have an associate resources option. Click on add resources. Choose the application load balancer that we have created lastly. Choose that ALB and click on add. So now we are getting error. I think after refresh this error will be vanished. Click on the associate resources, click on the add, click the load balancer, click on add. So our load balancer is successfully attached. I think that was a bug from the AWS. Click on the refresh. Now I'll explain you one by one how this web application firewall is helpful. So let's assume you have an application and you found that a sudden traffic spike on your application where the millions of requests are coming within the minutes. So how can you tackle this kind of situation? So web application firewall provides the rate based rules. If you click on the add rule option, then add my own rules option. Then here we have a rate based rule option. Then select the name it as a rate based rule. So what does that means rate based? So for example, if from the single IP addresses you are receiving thousands of requests within the minutes, so how can you block that IP address? So you have to define the rate limit. For example, I am going to define 100. So within the 5 minutes of rate, if any users hit our application 100 times, then if that source IP address, then please block that IP address. So on this add rules, so give the priority as a this is single rule. So click on the save. So that's the majorly widely used rules. So just I just want to give the proper. I'm not able to test this rule because how can I hit the money request on application? So I'm just given you overview how this what is this rate based rules. So next rule, next condition is like if you're like an app having the application which is that a web application provides content to the specific country. For example, India. That application is not like provide any content to the US users or the any other country user. So you just want to make sure that like only Indian people or the US people are able to access my application. So in that case, you can define a country-based rule in the web application where you can block or allow any country. So let me just click on add a rule, then click on add my own rules. Then in the rule builder, name it like India block rule. So for this, like I'm just going to block the India country. Means any user is accessing our application from the India, then user will be blocked. So if the match statement is, then inspect, click on the originates from the country option. Then in the drop down, select the India IN, just type IN, you will see the IN option. Click on the block section and click on the add rules. Click on save rules, refresh this web page. So now I have blocked the India country for my application. So let me just go to the and refresh the web page. So you can see I'm getting the 402 forbidden error. Why? Because I just blocked the India country and I'm accessing this application from the IP of the Indian country. So these are the benefits. If I remove that India country rule, click on delete and just delete it. I again refresh. I think I have to refresh here also. So I refresh the web application firewall. Now just access it. So you can see after removing the India country rule, I'm able to access the web application. So these are the this is the second benefit of the second. I'm just explaining scenario. Then the third scenario, for example, you have like a specific. Just let me just this the I have tested before. So yeah, I just want to delete it. So if you have like a third scenario, this one. So if you have like an application where you found that like a specific IP range is hitting your application unnecessarily. So you wanna like block that IP range on your application, means number of IP address you wanna block. That might be the range of IP address or the single IP address. So I will test by blocking my IP address, own IP address. Okay, but is that here is the I just IP lookup. What is my IP address? So this is the website I just bookmarked. So this is my IP address. Currently I'm using this IP address. So go to that IP set, click on the create IP set, name it as a block IP, the number of IP address you want to block to your application. Copy this and add the IP address and give the slash and 32 single IP address I just want to block. Click on the create IP set. So we have created the IP set. Now again go to the web ACL, click on the rules, then again click on the add my own rules, then select the IP set, then name it as a block IP, and then select that IP set which is recently created, block IP set, on the add rule. Save it, refresh it, and again you will see I'm not able to access the application. Why? Because I just created a one rule. That rule is going to block me to access this application. So again, go back to the WAP and shield, select the block IP and delete it. This is the third scenario we saw. Now I'm able to access it. It will take just few minutes to a few seconds to, yeah, now I'm able to access after removing the that rule. Third scenario, you have like an application where you are, which is based on the which is created on the Linux service. Then AWS provided their managed rules. We saw our own rules, but now we'll see the managed rules. So these are the AWS managed rules. So like you can like an account taker, bot control, then we have like an admin protection, then Amazon IP reputation. If you have like a Linux operating system, then you please enable this kind of rules. Then PHP application rule. Then this rule is to protect our application from the SQL attack, which is SQL database rule. And this is about the AWS management rules. Then these are the like means these are the third-party organization. They also integrated with the web application firewall, and they provide their own rules. So these are the like top like means cyber security organization. So they also integrated with web application firewall. I'm just going to add these few AWS managed rules. Click on the save. So it will work application if you're because I just added this rule. So if I'm doing any SQL injection, then this rule will block my so I'm just going to remove all these rules because AWS firewall service is like an kind of means not included in the free tier, so it will just cost me few dollars. So I just don't wanna any additional charge. So that's how you can protect your application from the web application firewall. So we saw the web application firewall. Now the next thing, we just want to make sure that our all this architecture is secure. So let me just show you diagram. So we saw the web application firewall. Now we'll saw the load balancer configuration. So go to the load balancer. So let's verify the security group. So this is the load balancer security group. So 8443 enabled, that's okay, means our load balancer need this only 2 ports. If any other additional port added, please remove that. Now we just verify the web server security groups. So on this, so this is the web server security group, and it is not recommended when you have like a load balancer in place. Let me just go to the EC2 again. So go to the load balancer. This is the security. So whenever you are having the load balancer placed above your EC2 server, then in the EC2 security group for the HTTPS port, add the load balancer security group, not the publicly, or you can just delete this HTTP, then HTTP, and 8000 also we don't want that port now, so just remove that. Add the HTTPS. Again, we are going to add the HTTPS, but we'll allow only the load balancer security group, not public IP address. Means in on 80 and 443, our web server will allow the load balancers traffic only. No other traffic will be blocked. And also the in the SSH also, if you are like an if the application is in production, this is not recommended to keep it publicly open. You can add your like an own IP address like this. I'm going to delete this add rule, add SSH, and I'm going to add my own IP address. So this is my IP address on the save rules. After doing these changes also, our application is going to work fine, because our request is going to first is coming on load balancer, then load balancer is distributing to the web server. Here also you can say I'm able to access the web server also, means my own IP address is allowed there, so I'm able to SSH to the server. So that's all about this like in a video series, where I just like in a starting from the like in a single EC2, then load balancer, then RDS, and now we I enabled that web application firewall, and the we made some security group configuration changes. So I'm going to add all these video links in the description. Please go through by one videos. This is going to be a very helpful if you are like working on the AWS cloud, and this is the actually works in like production. And I'm going to give you all guys one task. So now I tested this all this configuration with the single EC2 instance. Now you can test this application along with the auto scaling group. So that thing you can try by your own. And that's all about this video series. And make sure to clean up this all the resources that we have created through the only the web application firewall will cost some amount of money. Otherwise these other resources comes into the free tier, but still just make sure to delete all these resources. And thank you for the watching this all these videos, and please like, share and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.